Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go fast. I've got high-scoring tiles. I can play Wiz, W-H-I-Z. Do I have anything better? Yes, I do. I have Zowie, which places the Z on the double letter square. This will give me a good start to the game. 54 points. It does not take an S at the end. Not a good pickup, but a reasonable balance of vowels and consonants. Vex would deal with some of the badness of the rack. The UV combination certainly needs to be split up. And I need to play off at least 2 of the high-scoring tiles. I can't see anywhere for Vex at the moment. My X can go above the I of Zowie to be doubled, but I can't see a way of getting that to play twice. Now, I can play Vex at J1. That's quite appealing. Let me see what this scores. This doesn't feel great, but 30 points is okay. Well, the rack is slowly improving. I'm looking to play off the Y and the U this move. I've got a 60-point lead at the moment. EX takes an O after it for future reference. Now I'm looking in column 1 to see if I've got a 6-letter play beginning with the V of Vex. Can't see such a play. Let me scroll down and see what my opponent is scoring. 25 points for Noint, which takes an A in front. Now, do I have a play in row L beginning underneath the I of Noint and placing the Y on the double letter square? 4 to its right. Can't see such a play. Now, I do have the A and the D for going in front of ZO, and my Y can go in front of OU. So do I have a play ending AY or DY? Well, I could play Heady, but that doesn't feel great because I'm placing the H immediately above the triple word square. £31 points for that. Well, that also plays here. Rack leave is awful. 28 points, but it's slightly less dangerous. And I could play Hauled in that spot, keeping just the Y. I think LU's a pretty grim keep. Now what about playing YAH? 33 points, which is more. And the rack leave, although it's still keeping the LU, the DE really helps the LU rack leave. So I'm going with this. Great, I draw the first blank, and this looks pretty promising. I've got D-Louse. Does that play? Yes, it does. It plays in row I, making Ed, and also 1 square to its left. What else do I have? I have Euro Dealy. That plays in row J above the T of Noint. HI takes a G and an A and a K in front. Can't see any way of playing a bingo taking advantage of any of those hooks. Well, I think one of my bingos will play. Now, do I have a bingo in row L beginning with my D under the I of Noint? D louse doesn't work in that spot, so it would be D, vowel, vowel. In by, that takes an E after it. So I can play in column 10. Euro Dealy plays in row K, making U. So, Euro Dealy or D-Louse? I think I'll play D-Louse. I don't think there's much difference in the score. And Euro Dealy would place an E in a very dangerous spot in column 15. D-Louse, 73. And that takes D, R, and S, I believe. This is quite good. Through an R, I would have Infernos. I can't see a 7 with this rack, but it's a nice looking rack. Not too many floaters to consider. There's just the top letters in D-Louse. Nice play by my opponent, 30 points, and a few more bingos a few more floaters to consider, including the second R of Bryad, which does give me Infernos. Do I have something better? What about the A? No, there probably aren't too many bingos with an F and 2 N's, so I'm going to get this down, and the F does get tripled. This is going to open up a couple of hotspots in row O, but that's okay. Always better to open up 2 hotspots than 1. Inferno's 71. Not bad. A lot of vowels, but a bingo-y set of tiles. Now, is there a bingo here? And I think it'll be an 8, if there is one. An 8-letter bingo. Well, with this 5-letter vowel set, there are about 20 bingos, but not one through the D of D-Louse. What about the L? I don't think so. And I think that's all the floaters. So, although it was a nice looking rack, I'm now going to struggle to score. And I'm not going to score much in row O if I take out the triple word square at O15, and I'm going to wreck my rack. So I could play, well, what can I play? My I would have to go underneath the S. Well, I'm not going to look for something there. I don't want to play off 5 tiles with this rack. Now, what about playing? I'm looking around at the scoring tiles on the board since I have no scoring tiles. So I'm looking at putting an A in front of Noint to get the score from the V. So I could play VAE. This is quite a nice 5-letter set. It would be nice to play off one more vowel. 13 points is not a good score. Now, what about playing on this triple letter square? So I could place my R here, then an A, then an I. Let me see what this scores. 19 points. Not a whole lot better. Can I get more than 20 points somewhere? I don't have the N for going after EXO. What about playing Ilya somewhere? Ilya takes a P in front. 15 points. I like the rack leave on this, but I don't like the scoring opportunities I'm opening up, especially this 5-letter lane across here. So, does Ilya play somewhere else? I'm not sure that it does. So is there something else other than Ilya, something which plays down here, parallel to Delaus? Well, I could play Lair, L-A-I-R, but that's keeping 3 vowels. I think the original thought of VAE is better than the other options I've considered. Well, Lagia, I think, is good. Not too many or any 7-letter lanes on this board. I guess column 11 and 9 would qualify. Pretty unlucky to draw 2 Gs, but I have done. Now, well, at least they were consonants, so I'm not swamped with a vowel-heavy rack. Am I sure Lagia doesn't play? Yes. Do I have an 8 with this rack? And I don't think I do. Through an N I would have regaling, but apart from that, the 2 Gs have pretty much scuppered the bingo prospects of this rack. Well, I've got the AGE ending. Okay, I think I will give up on looking for a bingo. Now my G can go in front of IO to make GO. It's hard to sort this rack out. I'm looking in row H to see if I've got a play across from the U of Delaus. I could use the R hook. I could play rig, R-I double G. Or just end it there and keep the G. I think I'd rather have 4 more points. 20 points, not a great rack leave. Now, IG is good. So that's 20 points. I could play IG across here, making GO for 14 points. Is this R worth 6 points? I don't think so. But even so, 20 points is not very many. Is there anywhere for IG that scores more? Well, I don't think so. I think I will go with this. I do have a substantial lead of about 150 points. Now, this looks quite good. I think I have nestable in row E. But is that good? Nestable. Doesn't seem quite right. I'd rather have a bingo I was sure of. Do I have anything through a G? I don't think so. I think if nestable isn't good, there is an anagram of it. think I will try nestable. I have a good lead. Not too many other floaters to consider. Well, through the L of delouser, I would have netballs if it was not obstructed by Yar. So there is just the D, E, and L of delouse and the G of rig. Ah, well, what about blandest? Now, I'm sure of that. So yes, I do have a bingo in row D through the D. Blandest. And although I think nestable is good, I have a slight doubt, so I will play blandest if that stays available. But there's not a ton of openings on this board, so the E of delouser next to the double word square might be quite attractive to my opponent. But if he takes that out, he'll be closing down bingo lanes, which is fine by me since I have such a big lead. I don't think blandest has any anagrams. I don't think bandlets is good in particular. Now, what if both of those bingos are blocked? I'll be looking to score with my B, which does not go in front of AW at F6. Well, I could play Baal, B-double-A-L, in row M. Now, my opponent has blocked blandest and nestable, and provided nothing new. So, I'm just pausing in case I've got anything which goes after choice, and... well, I have the S. Do I want to play that? Let me just see what BAS scores. 41 points. Pretty good. Very good, in fact. And the alternative play I was considering was Baal. 23 points with a really nice rack leave. 22 tiles left, only 8 minutes on my clock. Well, I'm inclined to go for the score. Let me look at the remaining tiles. There's still a blank out there. Quite a lot of A's, not many E's. So is there something better than BAS? I could have a word beginning ES. I could play Sant. Wow, what a tricky rack. I could play Sab. $44 points. And that's a very tight move. It doesn't create any new openings. I'm retaining the T for making choicest, and I'm taking out the row H play, so this has merit, and I'm keeping an E. Not a great rack, but not really surprising given what I kept. Through an I would have 10I. Only 1 point tiles, so I'm going to struggle to score with this, but I could play something like Lent in column 12. Or late. Well, late doesn't play. Now, nice bingo by my opponent, and there goes the second blank. He is now 100 points behind. The obvious place to play is in column 15, and I can play there. I can play lean or leet. No N's left, one T left. But N and L lack synergy. So lean for 32 is pretty good. 12 tiles left. Can I eke out any more points? My T could go in front of the S. Well, I don't think I'm going to score very much more than this. Well, that's pretty good. That looks bingo-y. Onto an E, I would have literage. But is there a 7 with this rack? It looks pretty promising. Certainly a very high probability bingo. Nice play by my opponent, and he's provided a T for a glitter. Fantastic. Can I do better than a glitter? Just looking really at the floaters in Torpy, the T, A and U. Ligature is good, that doesn't fit. Can't see anything with the A. Column 13 might provide a bingo if I could see a 7-letter play, but I can't. 4 minutes on my clock. No, I can't see a 7 with this rack. But a glitter is certainly going to secure the win. 61 points. Horrible pickup. But my opponent is struggling. He's got the Q. Although he's not going to be stuck with it because he can certainly play Qua. Very few. No, my opponent hasn't played his Q, but he does have 2 spots for it because there's also the Eye of Briard. I don't think I'm going to be able to go out in 1 with this rack. I'm really looking at the vowels on the board. And I'm certainly looking to go out in 2. So my initial priority is to play the V. I could play Lav here. What else is available for my V? Well, I could play Vid across here. So I can play my V. Should I be obstructing my opponent's Q play? So if he plays up, well, he can't play up here. He can only play down here because he's burnt his A. So does he now only have 1 out spot for the Q? Well, I suspect he may have done. He's resigned, so I win the game. I think he only had this QI spot, so a play of Vid would have obstructed that. And yeah, okay. Well, that's the end of the game. The final score, 310 for my opponent, 431 to me. A winning margin of 121 points, so a huge win. Let's see what I missed. And it was me to go first. I played Zowie for 54, and that looks best. My opponent's rack, pretty awful. He played Meow, And this is my rack, which wasn't great. I played Vex for 30. I could have got 6 more points, but I would have been retaining the UV combination, which I was anxious to split up, and Vex achieved that. My opponent's rack played Noint. This was my rack. And I played Yar for 33. I spent a while on this rack, and Yar looks fine. My opponent's rack, Biryani, I think, through an A. And this was my rack. And I played D-Louse and In-Buy, and that looks fine. And Euro-Dealy was the only alternate bingo. My opponent's rack, 3 eyes, not good. And fortunately for me, they played an R for Infernos, but through the I also had Symphony, which I didn't spot. Nice word. My opponent's rack, they played Keto, and then this was my rack. Quite bingo-y, but I couldn't see a bingo. That's nice. Re-rail, making Yi and D-Louser. What did I do? Ooh, I played Vey for 13. Okay, well, that looks bad because I'm scoring 12 fewer points than Re-rail, but my rack leave of Aerial is a lot better than AE, so I think Vey is a better play. My opponent played Rioted, and this was my laggier rack with nowhere to play it. Did I miss anything? Ooh, yes, Grillage. Okay. Where's that playing? F7. Ah, beginning GHI, Grillage. Okay, I wouldn't have been sure enough of that play, even if I had seen it, to have played it. Doesn't look like a word I know. Anyway, that was the only bingo. I didn't see it. What did I do? I played Rig for 20. Well, there was a 36-point play, E5. Ah, double-double. I should have looked for that, and I didn't. So Legio would have been better, and Rig was good strategically in terms of rack leave, but didn't score enough compared to the top moves. My opponent played Choice and blocked my bingos. Quite a few plays available here. I played Sab, which was pretty much the highest score going. Not a great rack leave. I could have kept the S and got 9 fewer points with Unbelt across here, but that's providing a lot of floaters, and pretty much the only way my opponent's going to win at this stage is if they bingo, so I think Sab is better. Provides very few opportunities. As it happens, my opponent was able to bingo with Sawdust, which was well spotted, but it wasn't enough, and it opened up a hot spot in column 15. I played Lean, that looks fine. My opponent played Torpy. I had a Glitter, and my opponent now played Yar, although he could have, well, various options here. Probably getting rid of the Q would have been better than any of these. And then this was the point, I think, at which my opponent quit. And I didn't have an out in 1, and I think Div across here was best because I think it would have stuck my opponent with the Q. Anyway, he resigned, so the game ended in my favour, and that was the end of that. So, pretty good game, quite exciting, quite a few bingos played, and 1 missed in Grillage, so well done if you spotted that. And you can see from the way the tiles have extended all across the board, as opposed to tight little ladders, that this was quite an open game. So I hope you enjoyed watching that and got something out of it. My name is DWEEB, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.